I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Nymble. As a very young kid, I enjoyed watching old VHS tapes of Godzilla movies and the old Ultraman TV shows. A couple of years later, a craze swept the West. Power Rangers! I remember a short-lived attempt to bring out a spin-off show called Masked Rider. Of course, some years later I learned that Power Rangers had actually been an adaptation of a Japanese TV series, Super Sentai, similar to the old Ultraman stuff I'd encountered when I was younger. And it wasn't until I actually moved to Japan that I realised Kamen Rider, the original version of Masked Rider, the one that didn't quite catch on, is actually considerably more successful than Super Sentai, and predated it by 4 years. Kamen Rider is a motorcycle-riding cyborg superhero with a grasshopper-themed helmet. He's been absolutely beloved of young kids in Japan since the 70s. It's well known that the original creation of Pokemon was inspired by the Ultraman series and the kaiju movies of the 50s and 60s. Kamen Rider debuted only 5 years after Ultraman, and I have no doubt in my mind that those Game Freak kids, writing a Game Boy RPG in their spare time, were familiar with Japan's other superhero too. Nymble is a small little Pokemon, immediately evidenced when it appears in the overworld in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and can barely be seen. Metallic coloured, it has the signature big round eyes and enormous rear legs of a grasshopper. Pokemon Scarlet says of those legs, "It has its third set of legs folded up. When it's in a tough spot, this Pokemon jumps over 30 feet using the strength of its legs." And Violet says, "It's highly skilled at a fighting style in which it uses its jumping capabilities to dodge incoming attacks, while also dealing damage to opponents." The name Nymble, of course, incorporates this nimbleness, but it's spelled like nymph, a name sometimes used to describe the infant form of an insect. The Japanese name, Mamebata, just means small grasshopper, which is fair. While Nymble looks metal, I thought its rear legs were a pair of scissors or a folding pocket knife when I first saw it. It's a pure bug type, no metal at all. Going into its next evolution, the visuals suggest a steel type, while the Pokédex suggests a fighting type. We can all find out when, at level 24, Nymble evolves into Lokix. Lokix stands upright, looking mostly humanoid, with a helmet-like grasshopper face, completing its armor carapace. On its back, the 2 extra strong legs are folded up like a jetpack, ready to be deployed. The Japanese name is X-Leg, commenting on these extra legs, with the English name obviously suggesting that it's going to attack with some low kicks. It also incorporates Locust, a group of grasshoppers known for their swarming behavior. Pokemon Scarlet tells us, "When it decides to fight all out, it stands on its previously folded legs to enter showdown mode. It neutralizes its enemies in short order." This description sounds ruthless, which is fitting. Lokix is neither steel nor fighting, but dark type. It has a dark colour scheme with bright reddish-orange highlights. In the original Kamen Rider, and many sequels, the superhero's cyborg body was actually made by the villains, and he was able to get away before they could brainwash him to their evil ways. Evil equivalents even show up later on. A dark type actually makes perfect sense for Lokix. And Pokemon Violet tells us, "It uses its normally folded third set of legs when in showdown mode. This places a huge burden on its body, so it can't stay in this mode for long." This description brings to mind the time limit factor, often placed on superheroes like Kamen Rider and Ultraman, adding drama and giving an excuse for scenes with, the actors' faces instead of expensive costumes and effects. Lokix is the powerful bug-type attacking Pokemon last week's Spidops wanted to be. It can hit hard and fast, and manages to look threatening without creeping me out quite so much. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has a bit of a motorcycle theme, so it was the perfect time to introduce a Kamen Rider Pokemon. And the cherry on top of this well-iced cake is the Lokix helmet that can be bought in-game, letting the player transform into their own little version of a Masked Rider. Music for Luke Loves Pokemon is by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork for the show is by Katie Groves. Writing, producing, and editing is all by me, Luke Summerhays, and funding is provided by lovely listeners at patreon.com/podcastio podcastius. I love it when you guys get in touch. Hit me up on Twitter or Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN, and let me know your thoughts about our next monsters, Pawmi and Tandemaus, or share your love for any Pokemon. Also, join me Friday and Saturday nights from 8 PM UK time at twitch.tv/LukeLovesPKMN for my Pokemon Violet streams. And even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Nymble, and remember, I love you too.